Hello everyone, Rob here. Let's talk B1June. With a little bit of time now having passed since the event, allowing people to digest the information, I want to jump in and talk about what we learned. If you have not seen the event, I updated EOS Newswire's B1June page to include a replay of the event, as well as the Everything EOS sit down with Dan and Brendan post B1June. So if you haven't listened to this yet, this is also a very good listen. They dive in and get some of their questions answered from questions they had from the event. So definitely a good listen. Shout out to the Everything EOS guys. So there was multiple announcements here from B1June. First, we got the Coinbase Learn. This is where you can earn $10 worth of EOS on Coinbase just for watching some videos, and then I'm assuming if it's like others, just answering an easy question about each video. Each one here has $2 worth of EOS to claim. Then Coinbase Custody. Coinbase is going to be launching custody for EOS. EOS VM, this was a big one. WebAuthn, YubiKey. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And Voice. Voice is the one everyone's talking about. So let's start off with the WebAuthn YubiKey here. WebAuthn is a standard that all browsers have adopted. So what this YubiKey is going to allow EOS to do is not need Scatter, not need a wallet to interact with contracts and sign transactions. You'll just go to an EOS website on your browser, and when you push that transaction button, it'll automatically know. The browser will automatically know to send the authorization to the YubiKey, in which then you can sign the transaction. So this is good to see. This is integrating with the web standard that's already there, meaning you don't need a Chrome extension, or you don't need Scatter to pop up. The browser itself will automatically know. Just send it to the YubiKey for authorization. So a great bit of news there for EOS. But really, everybody's talking about Voice. But the big one for me was EOS VM. EOS VM 12x the speed of the initial launch of EOS back in June 2018. 12x in a little over a year. By the time this gets implemented, it's probably going to be a couple months down the road. In a little bit over a year, 12x increase in the performance. What other blockchain delivers that? To me, this was the real drop the mic moment. I mean, we could have had no Voice, and this would have been good enough for me. So EOS.io code continuing to improve. Block One continues to work on it, and June 2019, EOS VM a 12x from the original release of EOS, which would be a 6x increase from the current EOS that we are on right now. Just amazing. And I also want to cover the EOS.io roadmap, which was released. But first, let's talk Voice. Everyone in the EOS space should know what Voice is by now. It's Block One's new social network, and they will be verifying identities, so only real people, not bots, are able to use this network. And they're providing free EOS accounts, the resources for those accounts, and they're providing the funds to verify the users. It costs about $4 per person through normal KYC methods to verify someone's identity. So that's going to be covered by Block One. If Voice becomes the new social network, the new thing, it's really going to come down to the marketing. How much money are they going to throw behind the marketing? What kind of adoption are we going to see? Just people are calling this the new Steam It 2.0, but it really is so much more than that. And the big thing I see that comes out of this is the identity verified accounts. So this opens up the door for new applications on EOS that either need an identity or benefit from having an identity to be deployed on EOS. And with identity verified accounts, there's also even more of a use case now for projects on EOS like PEOS, Privacy EOS. If you want to have your identity verified account interact with your other EOS accounts, but you don't want them to be connected, you can use a coin like PEOS, being able to transfer funds between your identity verified account and your non-identity verified accounts without letting the whole blockchain know this person who has their identity confirmed with this account, keeps interacting with this other account, so it must be theirs. I think PEOS will be great for bridging that gap, keeping your other EOS accounts anonymous and not tying them to your identity verified voice account that you get. So it's also going to be a while until voice comes out. It needs EOS 1.8 to run on. We're still on 1.6, 1.7, and it's going to take at least another month or two, I think, until we get on 1.8. So it's going to take that much time until voice is actually launched and we can get on there and use. But this is something I will be jumping on for sure. There's no real information about how identity is going to be verified and how that process is going to go for a voice account sign up. But for me, I'm fine with having an identity verified account as long as there's ways to be able to interact with my other EOS accounts without tying them to this account. And letting everybody, blockchain's public, so letting everybody on the blockchain know, hey, these are my other accounts attached to me, my identity. Like it would be with just sending tokens directly to this identity verified account or from this identity verified account to one of my other EOS accounts. That's really, that's public and that would link the accounts. So something like PEOS is what I see coming into play there. So we've also had the release of the EOS.io roadmap. And Larimer says, we're calling it our strategic vision. A roadmap is very linear. We're working on so many things in parallel that a roadmap doesn't make sense. And that's available at eos.io/strategic-vision. And the 4 key areas are scalability, more apps, more users, developers, better tooling, faster app development, users, greater security, less friction, and enterprise, greater flexibility, better compliance. And just a couple of the things that jump out to me here is working on multi-threading as well as exploring technologies that can provide more cost-effective access to scarce resources like RAM, IBC, so working on IBC through Oracle-based, light client-based, etc., parallel execution, building cross-chain decentralized applications, supporting WebAuthn, and browser-based signing for blockchain applications, allow applications to cover the resource costs of their users, allowing explicit control over who is billed for CPU and net. Users won't even need to worry about CPU or net if whatever application they are using is covering that cost for them. So lots of points here in the EOS.io strategic vision. I'll leave a link to this in the description of this video if you want to take a deeper dive into it. So that's just a quick overview of what B1June has brought us. Lots of good stuff in my eyes. You know, there were some people disappointed, but the only thing I was really disappointed about was it didn't go into quite as much detail as I think they could have. On EOS VM is just, it's amazing. A 12x increase, a 6x from the current implementation increase in the speed of EOS. Can you really ask for anything more year over year in improvement to the protocol, as well as addressing security and updating to web standards and also launching a social media product? I think the market is still digesting it. Of course, there was the people out there that just bought the rumor, sold the news. Go check out eosnewswire.1/B1June if you want to see the B1 replay and the Dan Larimer, Brendan Bloomer interview post B1June from the guys over at Everything EOS. This, if you haven't heard this yet, gives you some clarification and, you know, just dives a little bit deeper into questions that a lot of us had after B1June. So, eosnewswire.1/B1June for these videos. And I will be working on EOS Newswire this week, adding in more news feeds, adding in more channels to the video feed, and anything else that I find important from B1June that comes out, I will be adding in here to the B1June page. That's going to do it for this quick run through of B1June. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and follow hodleosvoter on Twitter, linked in the description. But that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.